Hi, my name is Raman Virapin. I'm a full-time medical doctor, and I've also been a home bartender for the past 5 years. During that time, I've learned how to make over 100 different cocktails, and I've thrown over 50 cocktail parties. And now I help other busy professionals master home bartending. During my time as a home bartender, I've made hundreds and hundreds of different highball cocktails. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you the absolute best method that I've learned for making highballs. Now, a highball is any drink that contains a carbonated element. So that could include something as simple as the sparkling water that I have here, but it can also include things like ginger beer in a Moscow Mule. It can include things like a grapefruit soda in a Paloma, or even Coca-Cola in a Cuba Libre or a Long Island iced tea. So any drink that contains some carbonated ingredient, like any of these different types of sodas, falls under the highball category. And the way that a highball is traditionally made, this is the way that I've seen it made at bars that I've gone to. I've seen it made. I've seen this made on YouTube as well. I watched plenty of the other bartending YouTubers, and they all make it this traditional way. And even in books like the Cocktail Codex that I have here, this is how they describe how to make the drink. So the traditional method involves pouring all of the non-carbonated ingredients first into the glass, and then you layer the carbonated ingredient on top. And this is actually the way that I made highball drinks for probably the first 1, maybe up to 2 years of my cocktail making journey. So the reason I don't like this method actually is that there tends to be 2 layers. You essentially have one layer on the bottom with the non-carbonated ingredient, and then you have a layer on top with the soda or the other carbonated ingredient. And I found that this doesn't lead to good incorporation of the effervescence and the bubbles from the carbonated ingredient throughout the entire length of the cocktail. You tend to have it just on the top as opposed to being incorporated throughout the whole drink. So what I found to be better, honestly, is what I call the sandwich method. And as a joke, since I'm the only one that does it, and I watch all of the other YouTube bartenders and things like that, I'm the only one that does it. So as a joke, I like to call it the ramen method after myself. But just for simplicity, I'm going to be calling the sandwich method in this video. And the reason I call it that is because I think of the carbonated ingredient as essentially as forming a sandwich. So those are the 2 slices of bread. And then in the middle, you have the non-carbonated ingredients forming the meat and vegetables in the other part of the sandwich. So what that means is that I'll pour half of the carbonated ingredient first into the glass. Then I pour the non-carbonated ingredients. And then I pour the second half of the carbonated ingredient on top. So that essentially sandwiches the non-carbonated ingredients with the carbonated ingredient. And what I found with that is that you get that incorporation of those bubbles throughout the entire drink as opposed to just being layered on top. And throughout these past several years of me doing that method, I've noticed that I get more compliments from my friends and family and other people that I serve drinks to. I've definitely gotten more compliments on my highball drinks when I do this method as opposed to the traditional method. And I'm going to be demonstrating that method in this video here with the classic cocktail that I'm going to be making with these ingredients. So that cocktail is called a whiskey highball or a whiskey soda. It's honestly the most simple of all the different highballs because it just calls for 2 ingredients. Very simple ratio of 2 to 1. So it's going to call for actually 2 ounces of whiskey and then 4 ounces of sparkling water. So the way that I'm going to be making that with the sandwich method means that I'm going to be pouring the first 2 ounces of sparkling water into the glass, then the 2 ounces of whiskey, and then the final 2 ounces of sparkling water on top. So let's go ahead and make the drink. Let's start with the ice. I'm going to be doing about 4 ice cubes into the glass here. So it's going to call for 4 ounces total of the sparkling water. I'm going to be doing just the 2 ounces first. Then we're going to be doing 2 ounces of whiskey. I have the 4 Roses bourbon here. And now it's time to add the final 2 ounces of sparkling water on top. And optionally, you can stir it with a spoon here like I have. Just to make things even more incorporated. But that is an optional step. You don't even have to do that. It's already pretty well incorporated because of the sandwich method. So you have the 2 ounces whiskey, or the 2 ounces of soda, I mean, then the 2 ounces of whiskey, and then finally the final 2 ounces of the soda or sparkling water. So there you have it, a whiskey highball that I made using my patented, or not really patented, but my sandwich method for making highball drinks.